hello. I'm so sorry. Hello world and welcome back, or welcome if you are new here to my third mid-year book related video. There's still gonna be a whole lot of banging and thumping upstairs because my wonderful spouse is taking parent shift with the toddler. They just got an easel, so there are magnets everywhere. Now you may be wondering, Carmen, you already did a mid-year freakout tag and a mid-year reading wrap-up. What else is there to talk about? Well, I'm glad that you asked. As it happens, after I made both of those videos, Jessie of Bow Ties and Books uploaded their own mid-year reading check-in type of video where they talked about their reading stats and all of the books that they had read, and then their updated reading goals for the rest of the year and how they were going to use the information from their reading stats of the first half of the year to set specific goals and action steps to achieve those goals in the second half of the year. And I'm sitting there watching that video, and in the back of my head I'm going, that's what you meant to do! You meant to take that data from the books that you had read in the first half of the year and the authors that you had read and use that to update your reading goals and set action steps to achieve those goals. You dumbass! So that is what I am here today to do, is to present to you my updated reading goals for the second half of 2020 and the action steps that I will be taking to achieve those reading goals, as well as 5 books that I will be reading at some point in the rest of 2020. I have here my bullet journal, my notes for this video, and it has taken me so long to film this video that I put my notes in my bullet journal for the first half of the year, and I'm already on to my bullet journal for the second half of the year. Go and watch that setup if you are interested, both the setup of the new bullet journal and my setup for August. I did a Halo theme. Okay, my goals for the rest of 2020. I like to set my numerical reading goals in batches of 12. That's what I'm most comfortable with. My reading goal at the beginning of 2020 was to read 12 books. I met that. Next one was to read 12 more books. I have met that. So my next installment is going to be, you guessed it, another 12 books. But specifically to incorporate the information that I gathered on the authors and the content that I've been reading in the first half of the year. And by the way, I'm not getting into the details of that, so if you are confused about anything or you want to see like gender diversity and racial diversity of authors that I have been reading and content that I have been reading, be sure to go and check out my mid-year reading check-in video. That will be linked in places, and it's also just on my channel. In order to better diversify my reading, I am breaking up those 12 books that I am giving myself the goal of reading in the rest of the year. Of the 12 books, 3 each will be by Black authors, Latinx authors, Asian authors, and Indigenous authors. In addition to that, like I said, I'm going to be picking 5 books. Let's explain that a little bit. So I was getting very frustrated with myself. Every month I would print out new book thumbnails to stick into my bullet journal, and I was getting really frustrated with constantly having to do this every month. So I took every single book on my currently reading list on Goodreads, as well as my TBR, and I printed them out. So I have like something like 200 teeny tiny little book covers. That was a lot of fun to cut out. I then went and divided them into every book that I have access to in the immediate future. So this is either books that I have with me in person, not a whole lot, or books that I can get from my library. Then, after dividing them into those 2 groups, I went through all of the books that I have access to immediately and divided them into BIPOC authors and not identifiably BIPOC authors. And I will be selecting books out of this tin. Specifically, I'm going to draw 1 book for every month remaining in the year, including August, so 5 books. Those are going to be books that I have to read in the rest of the year. I could read them all in August. I could read them once a month. If I participate in any further reading challenges in the year, which I most likely will, if any of the books fit for a prompt in a readathon or reading challenge, I could do that. Who knows? But that's the plan. And lastly, if and when I read all 5 of those books, I will be doing another update where I will be drawing additional books out of my tiny tin of tiny books according to however many months are left in the year. And that's actually everything, so now we're gonna get to the books. I know I made a big deal about leaving it to the end, but we're here now, so let's do this. Do I remember what all of these books are? No. Okay, first book. Oh my god! First book that I have selected is Ray Bear by, oh my god, what is your name? Jordan Fueco? Jordan Fueco, I think. This is a book that has been getting a whole lot of notice on BookTube. The cover is absolutely amazing. I believe Ray Bear is fantasy? Okay, that went well, that went well. Let's see what we got. Spin the Dawn. I don't know who this is by. Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I'm gonna guess that this is fantasy. Project Runway meets Mulan in a sweeping YA fantasy about a young girl who poses as a boy to compete for the role of Imperial Tailor and embarks on an impossible journey to sew 3 magic dresses from the sun, the moon, and the stars. Okay, sounds good. Next up is, oh boy, The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by, can I read that name? Nope. Maggie Tokuda Hall. A desperate orphan turned pirate and rebellious imperial daughter find a connection on the high seas in a world divided by colonialism and threaded with magic. Oh, hello. Oh no! Next up is The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishiguro. This is a book that has been on my TBR for a very long time. I don't remember where I heard about it. I picked it to try and read as one of my extra books for the Asian Readathon in May, and I didn't end up getting to it. So it's coming back to revisit me, I guess. This ties into Arthurian myth and legend in some way. Okay, last one. That was 4. Last one. Last one is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. It's 1889. The city is on the cusp of industry and power, and the Exposition Universelle has breathed new life into the streets and dredged up ancient secrets. Here, no one keeps tabs on dark truths better than treasure hunter and wealthy hotelier Severin. Not gonna try and pronounce that. When the elite, ever-powerful Order of Babel coerces him to help them on a mission, Severin is offered a treasure that he never imagined. His true inheritance. So, historical fantasies with a potentially steampunk flavor? Okay, that's an interesting selection. Well, that's neat, and those are my reading goals. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if I am completely wrong about any of these books, and they are not at all what I believe them to be about. Stay tuned next week for something. I don't know what next week is going to be, but stay tuned, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.